Good morning, sunshines. So I know I owe you a Hawaii vlog too, but it's October and I really wanted to dive into more autumnal vibes, some spooky vibes, some fun stuff. So I'm gonna save the Hawaii vlog too. Also, some other events have happened that perhaps the Hawaii vlog 2 won't be coming, but I'll go into that maybe later. Maybe we don't start off the morning with that. Today I have a very challenging excursion that I can't tell you about unless I tell you about the other thing. Girl's going through it. But what else is new? 2025 though, that's gonna be my year, you know? That's gonna be it. Squish. Today I want to introduce you to my new friend, Suri. This bad boy right here. We're best friends now. Now, let me tell you, the way that this toothbrush actually fits in my mouth, and I can like feel it going into the nooks and crannies. My past electric toothbrush, I don't even know, it wasn't the same. This is so much better. It is offensively better. First of all, my old electric toothbrush would last maybe a week. I would go on a travel. Halfway through Japan, that toothbrush died. I was there for 2 weeks and I forgot to bring the charger and I was just manually brushing with my stupid electric toothbrush because it was dead. Suri has a 40-day battery life. That's insane. 40 days. Love her. Love her. Another traveling perk. This case is much more sleek than my last toothbrush case. It's beautiful. It's sleek. You open it up, put it in. It has a UV light inside. So when you're charging it, UV light lights on and it disinfects and cleans. How cool is that? Also, on top of this sleek aluminum body, we have these plant-based toothbrush heads. And these plant-based heads are recyclable by Suri. You just send them back in and they take care of it for you. How cool is that? It also comes with a mirror mount, which I plop right on my bathroom mirror and it saves me so much space on my sink. It's just nice, clean, out of the way, comes with it. I have never in my life been so pleasantly surprised by something as simple as a toothbrush, but I highly, highly recommend this one. It is honestly life-changing. This is something you're gonna use 2 times a day, every single day. Make it something good. You can use my code at checkout at Nikki for 20% off of your order if you wanna give it a go. I'll have a link for you down in my description box, of course. Different color options too. Pick your color. That's that. Thank you so much to Suri for sponsoring this vlog. And without further ado, we continue. Made myself a drink of ginger beer and whatever this apple beverage is. Quite tasty. I may or may not have spiked it. Who's to say? Who's to say? Today has been just quite the day. Quite the day indeed. I'd love to vent about it, but I'm gonna save that story for another time for now. But what I did want to talk about today is something I'm quite passionate about. And it's okay if you're not, because I'm going to go into this for all audiences. I love horror movies. I watch them by myself, watch them with my friends, watch them with anyone who will watch them with me. I will watch. I love horror movies. I didn't used to. I used to hate them. I used to cover my eyes the whole time. I could not watch them. Now, I just love the jump scares I get. I love the thrill. I feel it makes me feel something. It like distracts me. I just really like horror. So today I'm just gonna go over with you and I narrowed it down a lot because I could recommend probably 100 scary movies to you, but I just narrowed it down to not too many because I'm very easily overwhelmed, so I didn't want to overwhelm you, you know what I mean? Sometimes when people recommend books, they're giving me like 50 books to read, and I'm like, but which one? Where do I start here, you know? So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there's 13. I'm gonna help you out first by giving you some resources. First of all, scary movies, they're gonna be killing things off. It's inevitable, it just happens, especially the older scary movies, I don't know. There's a very useful website. It's called Does the Dog Die? It's just doesthedogdie.com. And every time I'm watching a movie and an animal pops up on the screen, especially horror movies, because they like to kill off the pets for some reason, and it's not very nice. You can look up on doesthedogdie.com, put the movie in at the top, and it will tell you a spoiler-free, or at least from my experience, it's spoiler-free. Just a yes or a no, and sometimes it'll even have a timestamp of when it happened. I have found that very useful because I'll have a lot of anxiety sometimes. And also if it tells you it makes it less painful later. I don't know, that's just something that I personally like to look up. If that's something that bothers you, feel free to look it up. If not, you know, you watch it with ignorance is bliss. It's the other one. Oh, Where's the Jump? Where'sthejump.com is just like high jump scare movies. You can sort them by like new release or popular or most jump scares and whatnot. And I think sometimes I'll go on there just to find a high jump scare movie. It's got pretty good lists from what I've noticed. So I don't know if it's updated frequently or not, but those are my two resources. These are not necessarily the best horror movies I've ever seen, but these are just ones that like stood out in my brain as I was kind of like researching, looking around for which ones to recommend you that you'll have fun with. I don't like anything too artsy scary movies. They don't really hit for me, I don't know. So first, I'm gonna give you 3 recs. I put them in a jump scare category. I tried to sort these by categories. 3 movies. We have The Visit. This movie, I encourage you to look up as little as possible when you watch it. It's about kids visiting their grandparents. It sounds very mild, but it's wild. And I just remember some very vivid scenes from that movie that scared the crap out of me. And like a just jumpy kind of like, oh my gosh, that's spooky. It has twists and turns. It's quite a good movie in my opinion. I don't know what the Rotten Tomatoes score on it is, but I really enjoyed it. And that is the first movie I'm gonna recommend for you. I don't want to spoil too much about it, so I'm gonna keep the descriptions a little vague, but just trust me. I'm gonna give it like a flippin', I haven't seen it in a minute, but probably like 8 out of 10 on the scary movie scale. Next one, Hereditary. This movie stands out in my head. I did not like the ending of this movie, I will say that. But it has a scene in it that I will never forget until the day that I die. I saw this in movie theaters with Jazz back in the day, and the way the whole theater, it will be with me forever, okay? And there are so many just creepy things and jump scares. It's a very good movie. It's a little weird, it's a little artsy, you know? And the ending is odd, but I'm still gonna give it like a solid 7 out of 10, only because I didn't like the ending. Third movie is one that I just watched recently, and it's not the best movie of all time, okay? It's kind of like, I don't know if it's B horror exactly, but it just is kind of silly, and I screamed out loud several times during this movie, and it was a fun watch with friends to like laugh with, okay? It's called Sting, and it's about a spider, and if you don't like spiders, do not watch this movie. If spiders scare you, do not watch this movie, obviously. But good jump scares. I'll give it like a 6 out of 10. But I enjoyed it, like even though I'm rating it a little lower than the others, only because it's not as good as the other 2. We move on. Found footage. I had a found footage phase where I was only watching found footage horror movies, okay? I just really like them. It reminds me of vlogging almost, because it's always like personal camera or body cam or webcam or whatever it's through. I just love found footage movies. First one, I've seen it like 7 times, and I make everyone watch it with me because I just think it's such a good movie. It's called Host, and it's filmed entirely through webcams, like through a Zoom call meeting. It's only a little over an hour long, so it's not like too big of a commitment. It's just got lots of little like well done little jump scares. I think it's just such a good little movie. Like watch it with all the lights off with your friends and laugh. And it was filmed during COVID, so like think COVID times when you're watching it. People are like wearing masks, and I think it's a great horror flick. Okay, that's like a 8 or 9 out of 10 for sure. Another one is Wreck, and I'm hoping I am not mixing this up with a different one. This is a zombie found footage film. I don't think it's in English, if I remember correctly. It's about an apartment complex that gets infected with something, and it has so many jump scares. There's also another one called Quarantine, and I get the 2 mixed up, but they're very similar and they're both good. Wreck or Quarantine. Fabulous movies. Great jump scares, great found footage. You must watch. 8 out of 10. I love found footage, so fun. This one I just put in a paranormal category randomly. I just watched this with Liz. It was like surprisingly good, but weird. It's different, okay? So just go into it with an open mind. It's called Oddity. Great jump scares, a great twists and turns. Great, like pause the movie and be like, what would you do in this situation? Do you believe this person or do you, I don't know what I would do in this situation. It drives me crazy. So I want you to watch that and pause it and discuss with whoever you're watching it with what you think you would do in that situation. But the movie's really creepy and quite good. I really enjoyed it. So Oddity, I'd give that one like a 7 or 8 out of 10. If you don't like horror, I probably should have put this at the beginnings because if you don't like horror, you might have checked out for the rest of this. But if you're not a big horror fan, but you like a little bit of thriller, the ones that I have down are Black Phone. It's more of a thriller. It's about like abduction, and it's like a little spooky, a little bit of twists. I don't want to give anything away. I hate like when things are given away from movies. For me, I like to just go in kind of blind, so I'm not gonna give too much away. But I think Black Phone was a pretty good movie, and it's not hella recent, but it's in the last couple years. And I also have the Fear Street movies. I can't remember these that well, but I know I really enjoyed them when I watched them. They're on Netflix, or they were, hopefully they still are. I remember them having like a bit of humor with the spooks, so I think they're a really good balance if you're not like just good on straight horror films. I think this is a good balance for you. Last but not least, we have to go with the OGs, okay? Not OOG. I'm not like talking the 80s movies. I'm not gonna make you watch those if you're not even a fan, though I will watch them and I think they're very fun to watch. But just for anyone who wants to just check out, if you're newer to the horror movie category, I would recommend like the original Scream, a fabulous movie, a classic. You have to watch it. It's a 10 out of 10, you know? Great movie. And there's so many actors in it and stuff. It's very fun to watch, especially now. If you haven't seen it, you're so lucky. Go watch it for the first time. It's fun. It is a bit gory. Just gonna throw that out there. I don't think any of these other ones really are. I'm not a huge like slasher flick horror girl. I just like jump scares and fun stuff. Insidious. Just the first one. I don't know about the other ones. I don't remember them. But Insidious kind of stands out to me because it was one of the first horror movies I watched when I started to like horror movies. I just think it's a really fun spook. Give it a go if you haven't seen it. Also the Conjuring movies and Annabelle. There are other Conjuring movies as well. Conjuring 1 and 2 and Annabelle are the ones that I stick out to me. The Nun is awful. Don't see that. And there are probably other ones as well. But those are the 3 in that series that I think are really watchable and quite scary and spooky. But those are like spooky. If you want that, they're very creepy, little to no humor. You gotta be in for the spooks, but they're great OGs. And then also Paranormal Activity. That's an original found footage one. That's an OG that if you haven't seen it is very good. It has a bunch of spooks. The other ones are kind of silly, but the first one's quite good. And then last but not least, I just added this in because I just watched it last night. We watched the new Alien Romulus last night, which was such a fun watch. You should watch all the original Alien movies. They're not really horror, but they're fantastic watches. And I highly recommend the Alien movies. And Alien Romulus was quite good. I really enjoyed it. But you should watch the other ones first because it has a lot of Easter eggs to throw back to the old Alien movie. Those are just my personal horror recommendations. Everyone has like their own kind of categories that they prefer and like vibes that they prefer. I know some people like things like The Strangers. That's a slasher flick that terrifies me to my very core. I don't like that concept of realism in it. Just wasn't a fan of that personally, so I would never recommend a movie like that. But some people love that, so that's okay. To each their own. I just wanted to throw you my favorite spooks since it's the spooky season. I hope you enjoy them. Let me know if you watch them or if you agree or if you have any that you think I haven't seen that you want to recommend. Let me know. Help your girl out. I'd love that. Alright, I've looked up some fall autumnal type recipes. Today, I'm just gonna make one. These sweet potato brownies sound great. I don't have any actual sweet potatoes, but I do have this sweet potato puree. It only has one ingredient, which is organic sweet potato. I'm hoping this will work. If not, this might be a disaster, but as much of my life is at this moment, I think we'll be able to roll with the punches, you know? It could be amazing. It could be the most moist brownies you've ever seen. And I'm gonna trust it. I'm gonna trust the process. Veggie brownies sweeten naturally with sweet potatoes and make for a healthier dessert option. So it's a little healthier. We don't feel as guilty when we're eating them for breakfast. Just kidding. Why would I do that? I definitely do that. And it's very simple. 1 cup of mashed sweet potato, half a cup of almond flour, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 1/4 cup of maple syrup. I don't have maple syrup, and don't judge me for this too harshly. So we're just gonna use that and hope for the best. 2 tablespoons of almond or peanut butter, teaspoon of vanilla extract, half a teaspoon of baking powder, chocolate chips. Got them on deck. I'm ready to go. Preheat the oven to 350. I probably should have done that already. Line a baking pan with a parchment paper. This says an 8x8 works best. I feel that this is larger than 8x8, but she's gonna have to do. Okay, hear me out. I have these liners for my air fryer, and I think if I put 2 of them in, I think we're gonna roll with it. What could go wrong? All right, mashed sweet potato puree. This looks like baby food. All right, I'm just gonna eyeball the peanut butter. That looks like 2 tablespoons. Actually, that might be significantly more, but that's okay. My version of maple syrup. Oh my gosh, I see a squish hair in it. No. Okay, we're good. Boom. Vanilla. Now mix until smooth. Is this going to make a mess? It is possible. Oh, it's not plugged in. That would help. It smells wonderful. Almond flour, maybe a little much. That's fine. 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. A cup is a lot. Okay. You mix it. Okay, yes, that's correct. Stir until well combined. It's looking like brownie mix. It says optional fold-in chocolate chips, which we're obviously gonna do. Are we gonna measure the chocolate chips? No, we're not. This is me folding in the chocolate chips. I almost dropped it in the fucking thing. This looks ridiculous. Does that look like it's gonna be brownies in a minute? I don't know. Let me hide my things. It's getting hot in Yeah. All right, now according to our instructions that we may or may not have gotten from ChatGPT, 20 to 25 minutes. I don't think those are gonna take that long. I think they're gonna take like 10, but I don't bake very often, so who knows? I'm on book 5 of Zodiac Academy right now. This series has me in a chokehold. There's 12 books, one for each zodiac sign. I really love them. They're kind of cheesy, but they're so good. I'm obsessed. I laugh out loud so many times when I'm reading them. It's ridiculous. Give them a read. Pretty good. In my opinion, Gabby recommended them. Love you for it, Gabs. Love ya. It's been 15 minutes. I don't really know what we're working with here. I think they're done. I'm gonna pull them out. Give them a little poke. Just gonna use a fork. Oh, it would appear I am wrong. They look crispy on the outside, and they're not spreading at all. It looks like a big cookie.
20 minutes later.
I've had this little cookie blob in there for like 30 minutes, and it's still a little wet. So I'm just gonna give it a taste. There's no egg or anything raw in here, so I feel like it's fine. Let the brownies cool before slicing. The toothpick should come out mostly clean. It says not completely. It's hot. I don't know what to say about that. That is not good. But you know what? I'm gonna let it cool and we'll try it one more time. Maybe it's just not, maybe it's not good hot. I don't know. I should just make regular brownies. Ghirardelli. I've waited a solid chunk of time. And this oversized cookie even looks kind of gross, you know? That is not it. I'll tell you that, ladies and gents. That I couldn't. You can't win them all, you know? You can't win them all. Don't make that. Do not make that. Oh God. I will say though, I usually don't like the way like healthy recipes taste because I just rather have the real thing. I'm more of like a moderation girl. I mean, have the real thing, just don't eat 5,000 calories of it. Just have a little bit of it and you can have more later. That's what I prefer, and I think I should have stuck with that, but I really wanted to help you guys with some healthy recipes that we could share and enjoy together. But I'm gonna find a different one because that one is not it. I will say there's a very good possibility it's because I used sweet potato puree instead of actual sweet potato. That may be my fault. That, I think, is gonna go ahead and conclude this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will probably have one more video up before Halloween. Maybe, maybe not. That's all, folks. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. And I will see you in the next video. Ta-ta for now. Goodbye!